Hi, I'm Artemis Pebdani, and I'm performing the roles of Shide and New Friend.
I'm Nazanin, and I'm performing the role of Rana.
I'm Roxana Hope Raja, and I'm performing the role of Salme.
Hi, I'm Marjan Nashat, and I'm performing the role of Nazanin.
I'm Nikki Masood, and I'm performing the role of Zadi.
I'm Caitlin Livingston from Audible, and I'm here to discuss the new Audible original, Wish You Were Here, a play by Sanaz Toossi, produced in partnership with Williamstown Theater Festival. Yeah, what attracted you to the production with Williamstown Theater Festival and to your individual roles specifically?
I was attracted to the play when I originally saw it, because it said written by an Iranian American woman with 5 Iranian women set in Iran, pre-revolution, into the revolution, post-revolution, and I also thought I have not seen a story like this.
The chaos that happens in the outside world is really the background, and the core of it really is these friendships. It's just these human beings, these women celebrating each other.
My favorite thing about this play is that the women are gross. Gross and funny. Because we are. Like, we really are.
It's relatable.
Exactly. I'm like, it's like this big secret that women are gross with each other, and it shouldn't be. It should be enjoyed by all. Just by token of that, how universal they are while being so Iranian.
Throughout the play, the women are kind of figuring out who they are as individuals while the different friendships are transforming. Why do you think that balance is important between your individual identity and your friendships, and how does that kind of relate in real life?
You know how there's like individual societies and collectivist societies, and it used to be that everyone lived like in like a larger extended family community. This play is at such an interesting moment, you know, in like the late 70s, early 80s, where I feel like Iran especially was a collectivist society. And I think Salme is such a good example of this, because there are moments where people ask things of her and she's often very generous, but sometimes she has a boundary that she holds on to, and watching her make those choices is so beautiful. And I think all these women at different times have a moment of like, no, like I'm gonna do this for me.
That was so profound, Nikki. And then all of a sudden, literal bombs are being dropped and putting holes in this net. And these women are forced to find themselves and to be themselves. And maybe not even be themselves, but to have to rely on themselves.
It's just so amazing that we have, you know, all 5 of you playing, you know, these 5 Iranian characters. So why is that representation important?
I think it's true that every woman in this play, including the writer, had a mother who left their mother for their daughter to have a better life.
Oh God.
There's like a direct line between, I feel like, the heartstrings of all of these people for that to be true. You know, when like Sanaz is like, this is a love letter for my mom. And then when you think about like, when I read the play, I'm like, what would this mean to my mom? There's something about that just brings intimacy into the room, especially when we can't even be in the same room. Like, I feel like there was like a collective understanding of like, oh, I hear you.
I knew this, but I feel like maybe sometimes you pretend that you don't know this, but that I carry a lot of what my mom went through. I carry it here too.
A lot of the ways our families came here or stayed here with families still in Iran were in really weird, secretive ways. So there were a lot of things that you just didn't talk about out loud so much, and that trickled down to things that didn't need to be kept secret. And to have these little things that I can recognize now in other people, it's a very eye-opening experience to me.
Because this title is going to be available to millions of listeners in the US and beyond, what does it mean to you guys that while people can't go to local theater to see their favorite plays, they have access to the story in this way?
It's like surprisingly translates really well to like an auditory format. There's something about like this one, like the rhythms and the revelations. There's something about the group scenes. Like it feels like a really good listen.
I find it so moving that these companies all found a way to keep telling stories. I just think that's incredibly moving. Not only are they going to keep telling the stories, but that the scope of the storytelling is going to reach so many more people. That's very exciting.
Thank you all so much for joining me. It has been an absolute pleasure. Wish You Were Here is available now, only on Audible.